Namaste dear students. In the last few classes we were discussing about measures of dispersion, the continued part of that one only, measures of dispersion over actually. Next some more characteristics like skewness, kurtosis and all we are discussing in this chapter, that is moments, skewness and kurtosis, the chapter name. So yesterday we saw moments. So moments are of two types, raw moments and central moments. To know the characteristics of frequency distribution such as skewness, kurtosis, then measures of central tendency, then dispersion etc. We are using some measures. That measures are actually moments. Moments are of two types, raw moments and central moments. So raw moment means a moment about any arbitrary point A or any point, that is a raw moments. If the moments we are describing in if that arbitrary point is replaced by x bar, then such moments are called as central moments. Then we saw mu1, for every distribution mu1 dash equal to x bar. First row moment about origin is always x bar, or it is our arithmetic mean. Second one for then central moments we saw. So central moments means moments about our arithmetic mean, that is central moments. Central moments are of central moments also. For every distribution, frequency distribution, first central moment is 0, mu1 equal to 0. Remember, second central moment is a measure of, it is actually variance, mu2 is variance. Third one, mu3 is a measure of skewness and mu4 is a measure of kurtosis. So we saw skewness and kurtosis also. Before that we discussed Karl Pearson's beta and gamma coefficients, beta 1 and gamma 1. So beta 1 equal to mu3 square divided by mu2 cube, gamma 1 equal to root beta 1. Then beta 2 is mu4 divided by mu2 square and gamma 2 is beta 2 minus 3. Next we saw what is skewness. Skewness means it is a lack of symmetry. If simply telling means just a lack of symmetry. For a symmetrical distribution, mean, median and mode are equal. If such symmetry is not there, mean not equal to mean, median not equal to mode means such distributions have a lack of symmetry, and that is called skewness. So skewness are of two types actually. First one positively skewed distribution, second one negatively skewed distribution, third one no skewness or symmetrical. So symmetrical, mean, median, mode equal. If the frequency distribution has a longer tail towards the right side, then it is called positively skewed distribution. So positively skewed distribution, for a positively skewed distribution, mean greater than, median greater than mode. Then we saw negatively skewed, just opposite of positively skewed, it has a longer tail towards the left side and mean less than median less than mode. Okay, correct na, that much we saw in the last class. Next today we will discuss how to measure this skewness. So there are three methods to measure skewness. First one is Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. First one is Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. I will tell the formula. So second one is Bowley's coefficient of skewness. First one is Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. Second one is Bowley's coefficient of skewness. Bowley's coefficient of skewness is based on quartiles. So it is also called as measure of skewness based on quartiles. So in the examination, if they just asked compute skewness, coefficient of skewness based on quartiles, means you have to do second one, Bowley's coefficient of skewness. Third one is measure of skewness based on moments. All three are relative measures of skewness. So coefficient comes, we know that for comparing the variability or comparing, for comparison purpose we are taking relative measures. These all three are relative measures which are independent of units. So clear na this much. So first one by one we will see. So first one is Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. Second one Bowley's coefficient of skewness. Third one measures of skewness based on moments. I told moments mu3 is a measure of skewness, isn't it? That comes here, moments. So first one we will see Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. So it is denoted by S. Karl Pearson S K anta baribodu, no problem. Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness is based on mean, median, mode, standard deviation and all. So it is the simplest formula is mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. Mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. Remember the formula now itself. You know how to calculate mean, you know how to calculate mode, median, standard deviation, everything you know. This is based on all that measures. So standard coefficient of skewness based on that is Karl Pearson's, that is S equal to mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. So mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. See, while discussing mode, we told that for some distributions mode may be ill-defined. Means what? There may be two modes, sometimes there may be three modes. Means sometimes two frequencies, highest frequencies will be there. Sometimes three will be there. So in such a case, we say that mode is ill-defined. So there is not a single mode. In such a case, the formula is replaced by, it is 3 into mean minus median divided by standard deviation. So it is using the empirical formula, you know that. So if mode is ill-defined, means this one S equal to 3 into mean minus median divided by standard deviation. So if two modes are there or three modes are there, means we at that time we say that a mode is ill-defined. At such time we are using this formula, that is 3 into mean minus median divided by standard deviation. Then now how to write the conclusion? If S K in the sense I am telling this is Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. So skewness S, K in the sense Karl Pearson. So Sk equal to 0 means there is no skewness. Means what? The distribution is symmetrical. So that if Sk equal to 0 means the distribution is symmetrical. Sk equal to 0, distribution is symmetrical. Then second one, if Sk greater than 0, means what? If the value of Sk is greater than 0, the distribution is positively skewed. And if Sk less than 0, distribution is negatively skewed. So remember, just remember this much things. If Sk equal to 0 means there is no skewness. No skewness means what? The distribution is symmetrical. So if Sk equal to 0 means the distribution is symmetrical. There is no skewness or there is no asymmetry. Second one, if Sk greater than 0 means the distribution is positively skewed. If Sk less than 0 means the distribution is negatively skewed. So after computing Sk, we have to write the conclusion. Second one, so this is the formula. Now itself you remember. So while doing one or two problems, it will be by heart. Actually it is the easiest one. Mean minus which one? Mode divided by which one? Standard deviation. Here also same. Here if mode is ill-defined means it is replaced by 3 into mean minus median divided by standard deviation. So the conclusions are like this. Okay. Take the case of second one. Second one is Bowley's coefficient of skewness. Bowley's coefficient of skewness, see I am writing like this, SB, because it is Bowley's. So Bowley's coefficient of skewness is Q3 plus Q1 minus 2Q2 divided by Q3 minus Q1. So this one also no need to, it is not much difficult to remember. See, it is based on quartiles. So all quartiles coming here, first quartile, second quartile and upper quartile also. So Q3 plus Q1, upper quartile plus lower quartile minus 2 times median. 2 into Q2 divided by Q3 minus Q1. Remember the formula, Q3 plus Q1 minus 2 Q2 divided by Q3 minus Q1. So here also conclusions are same. SB equal to 0 means the distribution is the symmetrical distribution, means there is no skewness. If it is greater than 0 means the distribution is positively skewed. If it is less than 0 means the distribution is negatively skewed. So it is also not much difficult to remember. So Q3 plus Q1 minus 2 Q2 divided by Q3 minus Q1. One formula. Last one, measure of skewness based on moments. So I told earlier itself, I told based on moments, which one? Central moment. Central moment we are taking here. Third central moment is a measure of skewness. I told earlier itself, third central moment mu 3. Mu 3 is a measure of skewness. So it is beta 1 and gamma 1. Beta 1 equal to mu 3 square divided by mu 2 cube. Okay. Here it is beta 1 equal to mu 3 square divided by mu 2 cube and gamma 1 equal to root beta 1. Gamma 1 equal to root beta 1. Okay. So clear now, mu 3 square by mu 2 cube and gamma 1 equal to root beta 1. So just remember third formula, third one that is the skewness, measure of skewness based on moments. Third central moment is a measure of skewness. So beta 1 equal to mu 3 square divided by mu 2 cube and gamma 1 equal to square root of beta 1. So these three are there. Using this we are doing the problems. Remember one thing, the problems are very important, usually asked as 10 marks. So sometimes they may ask the first one, Karl Pearson's, sometimes the second one, third one it can they are not asking for 10 marks, usually for 5 marks or 2 marks they may ask. First two are very important, Karl Pearson's and Bowley's, usually asked as 10 marks. So while doing the problems itself you have to remember the formula. So it is first one Karl Pearson, it is mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. If mode is ill defined means the formula is replaced by 3 into mean minus median divided by standard deviation. Second one Bowley's coefficient is based on moments. It is Q3 plus Q1 minus 2 Q2 by Q3 minus Q1. And third one beta 1 equal to mu 3 square by mu 2 cube, gamma 1 equal to square root of beta 1. See, in the first two the conclusions are same. Beta 1 equal S equal to 0, distribution is symmetrical, greater than 0 positively skewed, less than 0 negatively skewed. So first we will do some problems based on the first one, that is Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. So Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness, remember the formula. Then while doing problems, if two modes are coming means we have to go for the second formula. Okay, 3 into mean minus median we have to do. Can we do the first question? Yes. Calculate, first problem, calculate Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. Calculate Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness for the data given below. X, see here which first one row data. Sometimes they may ask for row data. Here in the problem it is discrete series. So x value and f value. X variable value and frequencies. X I'll tell 10, next 20, next 30, next 40, 50, next 60, next 70. Okay, here 1, 5, 12, 1, 5, 12, 22, 17, 9, 4. See here, we have to compute Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. So, Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness, what is the formula? Mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. Mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. For that, first we have to compute mean, next mode. Mode means highest frequency. Here it is x and f, so directly highest frequency corresponding x value, mode. Then standard deviation. So, that much columns we have to require. So, here first one x, f. See, in the direct method itself I am doing. So, x square required to compute standard deviation. Next, f into x column required to compute arithmetic mean. Last column f into x square. Correct na? X is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Here 1, 5, 12, 22, 17, 9, 4. Correct na? So, first we have to compute arithmetic mean. To compute arithmetic mean, the simplest, the direct method itself I will follow here. So, it is x bar equal to sigma of x divided by capital N. So, sigma of x is required, f into x total, capital N is total frequency. Before that, see x square column I constructed to compute which one? Yes, standard deviation. So, x square I will calculate, 10 tens are 100, it is 400, 900, 1600, 2500, 3600, then 4900. Correct na? X square. Next column f into x. This one into this one. 1 tens are 5 twos are 100. Like that. It is 360. Next one 880. Next one 850. Next 540. Last one 280. Clear na? Yes. Sigma f is 70. This one required. Sigma fx total is 3020. Last one f into x square. Remember, it is not fx the whole square. It is f into x square. So, f into x square means second column into third column. 1 into 100. 5 into 400. Next 10,800. Next 35,200. Next 42,500. Next 32,400. Last one is 19,600. This total is 142,600. Clear na? Yes. To compute x bar and sigma. So, mode we can compute directly. Once again, you just check mode is not well ill defined here. Total frequency, highest frequency 22, corresponding value is 40. So, mode only one mode exists. So, we can adopt the first formula. So, mean, first compute mean. Mean x bar equal to sigma fx divided by capital N. Sigma fx is 3020 divided by capital N is 70. 3020 divided by 70, 43.12, 43.1428, 1428. Clear na? Next sigma. Sigma equal to square root of sigma fx square divided by n minus sigma fx divided by n the whole square. equal to sigma fx square means f into x square column total 142,600 divided by 70 minus 3020 divided by 70 the whole square. I am not doing in detail, you can compute now however. So, I am just writing the answer, that is 13.2605. Hope this much clear to you. Sigma fx square means this total, divided by n means this one. Sigma fx means this total, divided by capital N is 70 the whole square. Clear na? So, whole square. Next what we have to do? First we have to compute the subtract that one, just next compute the square root of that one. Answer is 13.2605. After that what we have to find? We have to find mode. Mode is required. Mode means highest frequency. Which one highest frequency? Highest frequency equal to, see just frequency. Frequency highest value is 22. 22 is not our mode, corresponding x value. So, 22's corresponding x value equal to which one? Yes, it is 40. Correct now? One, this one, this one, this one, 40. So, mode equal to 40. So, mode is not ill defined here. You can do directly this one. Okay. So, next apply the formula. Apply the formula, that is, I will write here, Karl Pearson, you have to write Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness Sk equal to mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. Mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. Mean is 43.1428 minus mode is 40 divided by standard deviation is 13.2605. Okay, 43.1428 minus 40 divided by 13.2605. However, we will get one positive quantity, correct na? 43.1428 minus 40, you will get 3 point something divided by 13 point, that is 0.2370. 0.2370. It is positive. So, what is our conclusion? Yes, our conclusion is since S greater than 0, distribution is positively skewed, isn't it? So, S equal to, since we have to write the conclusion here actually, I am writing here, since S greater than 0, since S greater than 0, distribution is positively skewed. You have to write the conclusion. So, remember once we did what and all value we are getting, just you have to write the conclusion. So, if it is less than 0 means distribution is negatively skewed. If it is equal to 0 means distribution has no asymmetry, or it is a symmetrical distribution. So, it is no skewness. No skewness means the distribution is symmetrical. So, what we did here, first x and f values given, which one? Discrete series given. First we have to compute mean. For computing mean, f into x, again I did direct method, indirect method. You can adopt any method, shortcut method, okay. So, among x values 1 we are taking as assumed mean, after that we are taking the deviation. That method is also okay, not a problem. You will get the same answer, but for the time being I took a direct method. Next, f into x. F into x, its total. This is f into x square, not fx the whole square. Next, mean we have to find sigma, standard deviation we have to find mode. Since mode is not ill defined here, we can directly apply the first formula, that is mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. Answer is 0.23. Since S greater than 0, distribution is positively skewed. Okay. So, next in the next class we will discuss some more examples. In that continuous series. Then if MCF and upper limit and MCF given how to do, lower limit and MCF given how to do, that and all problems we will discuss in the next class. Thank you.